Hey guys, so today I wanted to do a quick little video on a couple questions that I had got and then just also some things that I thought that you guys might want to know. I feel like people generally post about like 2-week weight symptoms or what they did differently the month that they conceived and all of these things, and so I kind of just wanted to go over that and make my own little version of that or my own little video of that. Did we do anything differently the month that we conceived? And I honestly feel like we didn't. I don't feel like there was anything specific or special that we did that helped us conceive. I truly honestly feel like I was not going to be able to conceive with the large ovarian cyst that I had and the polyp that was in my uterus. I honestly feel like that uterus being in there, nothing else could implant with it being in there. So I honestly truly feel like that is what made the difference. If I would not have had that surgery, number one, my cyst probably would have ruptured at some point, and number two, I just would not have been able to conceive. That being said, I had to take a little bit of a break while I was recovering from surgery, as far as exercising and stuff like that. But once I got the all clear and that everything was good, I started exercising again. I started really being careful about what I was eating. Obviously that's hard. You want to indulge, you want to have that piece of cake or that whatever. It was right around the holidays. So of course I did all of that. There's no counting calories on your birthday, that sort of thing. So I definitely still enjoyed things, probably more than I should have, because it's not like I lost a ton of weight after my surgery, but I also didn't have a lot of time. So that being said, I was trying to be super healthy as much as I could to try and lose a little bit of weight if possible. I lost 4 pounds, but then basically gained it back over the holidays. So it was nothing. And I will say the month that I conceived, maybe the month before that as well, but I think it was just that month. I read about things that can help with fertility, things that can maybe even increase your chance of having multiples or, whatever, silly stuff like that. And two of the things that it said were more dairy and berries, so raspberries, that type of stuff, because it's good for you. I'll link the little thing that I read that it said as far as those goes. But I did start having more dairy, and I ate raspberries almost every morning for breakfast. I don't think that it had anything to do with it, but that is one thing that I did change the month that I got pregnant. So does it have anything to do with it? I don't know. Maybe it helps. I'm not sure. They say that it can boost your fertility and help with fertility, but honestly, I don't know. I think it just happened. So if you haven't tried it, I guess you could always try to drink more dairy and have raspberries in the morning. Moving on to the next one. Did I have any 2-week weight symptoms? The answer to that is a big fat no, I did not. I know a lot of these women say they had all these sort of symptoms, or there's videos how I knew I was pregnant before I took my pregnancy test. I don't know, because almost every single month that I took pregnancy tests when I was trying and they came up no, and I obviously wasn't pregnant, I felt like I had symptoms. But the month that I actually got pregnant, I had no symptoms whatsoever. So I think honestly, a lot of it is probably in your head. I'm sure there's some women that are just super in tune with their bodies that I guess they know. I had no idea. I had no symptoms, no implantation, bleeding, or cramps or anything like that. What woman doesn't randomly kind of cramp here and there? I just feel like that's normal. I don't know. So yeah, there was no implantation, bleeding, or cramping, or any nausea, or nothing that would indicate to me, oh my gosh, you are pregnant. So no. Now I will say, and this is something that I kind of just wanted to add, or a bit of advice that I wanted to give. because I know that people often say, just relax and it'll happen, or just stop thinking about it and it'll happen. You know, that happened to me, that happened to my sister, that happened to my mom and my best friend. And, you know, people say that all the time. And I feel like as you get further and further and further along and you haven't conceived, you've, you know, relaxed till your heart's content, you feel like, and you're still not pregnant, and that's not the answer. And it can kind of feel insensitive or frustrating. Number one, I will say, like, people that say that, like, they're just trying to help. I feel like there is truth to that in the sense that the more relaxed you are, you know, I feel like your body can kind of just loosen up and it can kind of do its thing. The more stressed you are to have intercourse at a certain time, or, you know, it's got to be this day because of my ovulation day, or, you know, it starts to affect your relationship. It starts to not be so fun anymore. It starts to just become this chore and very mundane. I'm sure any of you that have been trying for a long time know exactly what I'm talking about. It becomes all about just finally getting pregnant, and it becomes less and less about you and your partner connecting. And I'm not sitting here saying like, oh my gosh, I like really relaxed and that's why I got pregnant. I'm not saying that at all. But the month that we did conceive, the month that we got pregnant, we had went on a trip. We went on, it was about a 4-day little like staycation. We went like 3 hours away, had the kids, you know, stay with family. We went, it was on the very beginning of that week, you know, that I was like, this is the week that it's going to happen. So it was on the very beginning of that. And then as we came back, that was kind of the other half. So obviously we were still like on a high from our trip and still feeling really relaxed. It was, I think it was New Year's Day when we came back. So obviously then, you know, it went like into the weekend and it was just really like chill, you know, it was a really chill time. It was right after Christmas, like really relaxed. So I'm not saying that, oh yeah, you know, what everybody says is right. You know, I got pregnant because I was really relaxed and that's what happened. However, I was not super stressed that we have to do it this day. We have to do it this night. We can't do it this night. We literally just did our thing. We were away from the kids. We were away from everybody. It was just us. I didn't see it as a trip to try to get pregnant. I saw it as we need some time to remember us, who we are as a couple, and remember, I guess, the fun that we can have together and some spontaneity, you know, and just being intimate whenever we wanted, but not feeling like we had to. And it really, honestly, I feel like it helped. I'm not saying that that was what did it, that is the magic key, because I know if you have other underlying issues, it does not matter how relaxed you are, it's probably not going to happen until you figure out X, Y, or Z. If I would not have had my surgery, it wouldn't have mattered how many trips we went on, where we went, what we did. It wouldn't have mattered. I still probably would not be pregnant if I hadn't had the surgery. So I do think once you get all your issues figured out, whether it's, you know, something simple like I had where you need to just get a surgery, you need to get things cleared out, or you need to be on Clomid, or, you know, literally could be a million things. But I think once you figure your things out and you kind of get it taken care of, I think that it definitely helps to take some time, you and your partner, to recenter, to refocus, regroup, maybe even, and I know this kind of sounds like counterproductive, but maybe even take a month off. I honestly viewed our vacation as almost kind of taking that month off from trying. I was still tracking my ovulation, like I mentioned in my last video. I was still tracking my ovulation because I wanted to be able to tell the doctor when I went back that, hey, I'm probably not getting pregnant because I'm not ovulating. I haven't ovulated. So I was still doing that, but I wasn't stressing out about when we did it or when we didn't. I was literally just viewing it as, we're probably not going to get pregnant this month, so let's just enjoy. Let's just relax. Let's have a good time. Let's focus on us. So my, I guess, tip or my advice would be, when it gets too much, when it's too hard, when you really almost feel like it's affecting your marriage or you're losing sight or whatever it is, stop for a minute. Take a month off. Take a break. Focus on your partner. Focus on each other, the love and the fun that you have together. And remember what is important and why you're doing what you're doing. And I feel like I'm not saying it's going to help you get pregnant, but it helps your relationship. And it helps you, I can't think of a better word than just recenter. It just helps you recenter, regroup, let the chips just fall and like land where they will. Like, just let the month play out how it's going to play out, and just enjoy being together. And if you have kids, enjoy being alone together with no other kids and no distractions, just the two of you. So I think honestly, for me, what really made the difference was getting the surgery that I needed to get, and then just getting to a point where I was like, okay, you know what? Like, I'm not going to stress out. I'm not going to freak out about it. And focusing back on just me and my relationship with my husband. And if I wouldn't have gotten pregnant that month, I would have just kept going. It's one of those things, like, if that's not the answer, if it doesn't happen, then you just say, okay, like, that was a really fun trip. That was great. Like, now let's get back to it. But anyways, I know that's kind of just like a long spiel. If you guys have any more questions, just let me know. I don't know, especially for those of you who have been watching and like my whole journey and how I got here and all of that. Like, I don't know what more I could answer that I didn't. But yeah, I'm in total shock. I'm in total surprise. I don't have like a magic wand or a magic answer as to what we had done. I just think sometimes it is just all in God's timing. And I feel like now I can look at the situation objectively and say, you know what? Yeah, like, it probably wouldn't have worked for me to get pregnant a year ago or a year and a half ago. It probably wouldn't have worked. I think that there's a reason that things happened the way they did. For people that have been trying to get pregnant for 3, 4, 5, 8, 10 years, I don't have any advice. I don't have any other words of encouragement other than just keep going. Because that just wasn't my journey. That wasn't my experience. And I'm grateful and thankful, but I don't know why. I don't know why women have to struggle as much as they do sometimes, and it's not fair. And even though to me, a year and a half to conceive a baby was a long time, I know to some people that's absolutely nothing. And I think that is just, it's really hard. And when I try to put myself in those people's shoes, I don't know, it's really emotional for me. I can't imagine that being my struggle. I just can't imagine it. So to any of you out there that are still struggling, I'm thinking about you. I'm praying for you. I don't take for granted my situation one bit. I am just grateful and blessed that I didn't have to wait any longer than I did. And I am grateful for the little bit of experience or a little bit of view into how hard it is to be able to have something that you want so bad not happen when you want it to. And I feel like it gave me a little tiny peek or a little tiny bit of a perspective of what that would feel like for somebody that has been, you know, on a much longer and much more frustrating road than I have. But I feel like it gives me a tiny, tiny little peek at that. And I have so much more sympathy for people that go through that than I did before, because I didn't know. I didn't really think about it. So anyways, I think I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. Like I said, if you guys have any more questions, let me know. You can put them in the comments below or head over to my Instagram and leave comments there. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye guys.